Hello, this is a guide to set up questions that involves diagrams or calculations. So how I go about setting up my mathematics question, something that looks like this. I did not type all of these questions right here. I actually typed them in Microsoft Word. So how do I begin or how do I arrive at these? So first of all, I'll open up my Word document on my system. So I assume the Word document is already open. So this I will take as my Word document that is open on my system. Then on the system, I'll search for sniping tool. Every laptop should have this tool, sniping. So I'm going to type sniping, bottom there, sniping. So right there, I have sniping tool. So I click my sniping tool. It's like a scissors. So it can allow me to cut a portion or the entire portion of the screen. So I click new. So I'm going to click new. Sorry, excuse me. So I'm going to click new, my slide sniping tool. So when it's clicked, so it comes up like um, this blurry screen and then a plus sign. So I can be able to, I'm going to left click, then use my um, right hand to drag this to cut a particular question I'm interested in. So there it goes, it's cut out. Then I press Ctrl S. Either use Ctrl S or you come to File and you save as. So I'm saving as what? Now I'm going to save about 10 questions. So I'm going to call this, I'm using capital letters saved as question 1. So I already have question 1 already saved. So I'm going to call this question 3 because I already saved question 2. So I have Q3. So that's Q3. It is saving in my pictures. I'm saving my pictures. So I have question 3 saved. So that's saved already. Now I press Ctrl N or Ctrl New again. Then I have to cut another question. So this is another question I want to cut out. So right, I'm going to use my left hand to hold my um, left button, my laptop here down, and I'll use my other hand to drag and cut. So Control S, I'll save. So I'm going to save with Q4. So Q4, it makes it faster when I use Q. So instead of spelling question 4, so I have Q4. Now I have some questions saved already on my system, in my pictures folder. So I go back to my Google form. So this is the Google form that we earlier started with. So I'm going to add more questions to it. This time I'm going to add questions that I have just cut, which are the calculation questions. Remember, I can't type um, um, some of those mathematical figures and some of those mathematical formulas here. So I will use that option. So I'm going to type my question here normally if I were not doing what I did right now. So I have clicked it to open up this um, question thread for me. So right here, you can see a box. You click it, you click that box. It allows you to upload an image. So all the questions I have cut from my Microsoft Word, assuming, now have been saved as images in my picture. So I'm going to browse through my system and then it opens my pictures. If it doesn't open your pictures, if you probably have to select where you saved those question images. So I'm going to look for Q1. I'm going to look for Q1. So this is my Q1. I click it and I open. So it uploads right on my work or on my Google form. So it is loading and there you have the question on my Google form. So I can decide to write here question 1, question 2, question 3. where I would normally type the question, I can try to write question 1. But as we started with earlier, I said I was not going to be writing any question 1, 2, or 3 because I'm going to shuffle the questions so that I'm going to use this shuffle button to prevent the students from actually uh, carrying out any form of cheat. So now my question is appearing here as an image. So you see, if I click it, you can see the boxed image. So what I'll do now is that I'm going to still scroll down, and then where you have the option button, I'm going to write, so my uppercase A, enter, then B, then C, then D. So those are my options, A, B, C, D. So the student can click any of them that matches what you have in the picture question. So my answer key, like we did earlier on, I click my answer key and I award my points, 5 points. Any points you choose to award to that. So then I come back here and I choose whichever the correct answer is. So if C was my answer, I click it and then it's ticked, and then I click done. So that is how I'm going to add my questions that are in form of images. So I'm going to add one more very quickly. The box here, browse, and scroll down, look for question. So I have Q3, so it loads the image, and then the image appears right in this form. So I go to my option and just write A, B, C, and then D. Then I click the answer and I award my points, 5, and then I come down again, I scroll down again, and then if C was my answer, I click it, and then finally I click done. Now this is how I put in the questions that have been set or cropped out and saved as images. So this will allow me to enter or put in my mathematics questions appropriately without actually confusing any of my students. Now, when I'm done with all of this, I'm going to go back to a previous form that I've earlier used. So this is the previous form I have used to administer classwork and assignment to my students. So now when the students have taken the test, you can come back here and then you see, you open the form, it will open like this for you. You see a pencil here by the right downward corner. So you click the pencil, it means edit. That's for us to edit. So it is editing the document now in the former state where we had questions, then we have responses. So I have questions, I have responses. So I'm going to make use of my responses. Clicking my response, you can see I have 38, meaning I have 38 students already that have turned in or submitted their work. So I have 38 responses. If you scroll down, you see all the other details concerning the particular test that was administered. So I'm scrolling down. I'm scrolling down. I'm scrolling down. You can take a look at all of these. So I'm scrolling down until I get to scores. So this is scores. Now, the scores I have here, release scores. I'm not releasing the scores. I'm not releasing the scores. So I have the scores. I have the student's email. I have the score of each student out of 100, and I have the date and the time that the students took the particular test. So these are the scores here. It is not showing their names, it's only showing their email addresses. So remember that we have already created a place for them to write in their names in the form. So now I'm going to download all of this code. You can start to take a pen and a paper and begin to write them down. If you know those whose email appear here by their name, I'm sure that will be difficult for a lot of people who email addresses refer to their parents. So you come up here, you see right here we have 3 dots. So the 3 dots, right click it, and then you come down to download responses as CSV. So I'm going to click download as CSV. So you see that it's been downloaded here. So I'm going to click my CSV file. So it's opened. I click to open, and then it's going to open as an Excel page for me. So this is my CSV file. So The first column here, it has date followed by the student's email addresses. Then the third column is the scores. The third column, which is C, is the scores, and then next to it, you have the student's name. So I'm going to come here and I click the first box, and I'll select using the shift button and the arrow button. I'm going to select only those columns that have the email addresses, the time the student submitted, or the date and time student submitted, the score, and then the student's name. I don't need these others down. I'm just going to take from the cell A, B, C, and D. So I'm going to take that all down. So I'll stop here. Control C as copy. Then my Microsoft Word is already open. So I'm going to go to my Microsoft Word now. I'm going to go to my Microsoft Word where I'm going to have to paste that. So my Microsoft Word is open here. So Control V. Now I have pasted everything here. So here you can see the details of the test that the student took. So I have here the date and the time he took. You have the email addresses, you have the score, you have the student's name. So that is how the scores can be generated, or the scores can be pulled out from the Google form. This has been very, very easy to follow, I hope. Thank you.